Hello, Soulies. We have another bonus episode today, and this one is a little bit different. So, I'm going to be reading for Paige. Now, Paige is a Heartspace member, she is a client, and she's someone who I only read for a couple of months ago. And so, when it came to doing this reading, rather than redoing a psychic reading, which, is still probably moving through her field, I like to say to people, when it comes to a psychic reading with me, unless things have drastically changed, you probably don't need more than one with me a year, maybe two at most. So, especially not within a few months. So, we're going to do something different today, and we are going to read Paige's natal chart. Now, obviously, for the sake of this recording and the length of the episodes, I'm not going to be giving a full chart reading. I don't even know if Paige has ever had her chart read. I don't know her understandings of astrology. So we're going in as if she is a client, which is the truth, that I've never read astrology for. And you guys are going to get an understanding of how these sessions can look. I mean, a very condensed version. But this could be a cool thing to watch on YouTube if you're not, because I'm going to do what I do in all my astrology readings and share the chart and then show what I'm speaking to as I read. So if you do want to pause this and then go watch it on YouTube, I recommend, because you can follow along with your chart as well. Because there might be placements that Paige has that I speak to that resonate with your own chart too. So I'll pause it there and bring Paige into the room. So here she is, the beautiful Paige. Hey, gal.
Hi, thanks
We're
for having
very
me.
excited. Thank you for coming in. So I was just saying to the listeners that this is different because we're going to do your chart today.
Yes.
So before I dive into it, because obviously we had a psychic read a few months ago, and what I wanted to share with you and the listeners is the difference between psychic and astrology, because I get that question all the time. And for psychic readings, it's very much predictive, right? And I know our session was like that. It's like, this is what's coming, or this is what you should do, and this is what your guides are, well, where your guides are guiding you. But the astrology reading is different in that it's like a permission slip to be more of who you are. And my intention for our reading today is for you to have a deeper understanding of yourself. I do a lot more talking in the astrology readings than the psychic readings. So you just get to listen to me babble. But before I pull your chart up Paige, have you had any astrology readings before?
I've had it done once, but it
Yeah.
was a few years ago.
Okay.
And we touched briefly on my astrology when I saw you last, but that
We
was more
did.
around my business. So this will
Yes.
really be my first time.
Because I was looking at your chat and going, this is so familiar. So thank you for reminding me. I remember it came in and I was like, I need to know your MC and I need to know, yeah, that makes I remember now.
Yeah.
So let's just pull your chart up. I'll share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see the chart there? Now I've
Yes.
scrolled it up so people don't get your birth date. I was like, oh, we can't have those personal details doing the rounds on the internet. But
Correct.
what we're looking at now is a snapshot of all of the planets in the sky the moment you were born, right? So in the middle, this thick line down the center, there's your ascendant, your AC, otherwise known as your rising, and then your descendant or your DC. And then we've got your MC and your IC smack bang in the middle. This is the horizon point. So you can see that up here is where the sun was when you were born, the moment you were born. So that circle with the little circle on the inside represents your sun. So
Mhm.
to explain what you're looking at, all of these glyphs, they're known as, are basically representing the planets in the sky the moment you were born. So you can see the moons there, and then each of like the alien looking guys, Mercury, and each of these little glyphs represent a planet or an aspect like a nodal point. The horseshoe is the north node. This key looking dude, that's Chiron, that's an asteroid. Then on
Mhm.
this outside of the circle, we've got all of the different zodiac signs. So the astrological archetypes. So there's Cancer, you're a Gemini rising. So there's Gemini, you're an Aries sun. So there's Aries up there. So all of those symbols are the zodiac signs. And then we also have the squiggly lines down the center. Now, because this is a mini reading, we won't get to what these lines are, but just for the purpose of understanding, these are aspects. And the blue ones are harmonious aspects, so the way your planets relate to one another. And then the red ones are more challenging or disharmonious aspects that maybe just have some tension in your chart or need a little bit more work. So this is what I love about astrology is today what we'll do, Paige, is we'll do your personal planets, the planets that make up your personality. So they're the
Mhm.
same for everyone, the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and your ascendant. So we'll look at the way that I read is we look at the sign, the planet, and then these numbers in the middle are the house. So it's almost like an equation or like it's a formulaic approach. So, I've got Gemini plus moon plus 12th house equals a certain type of moon sign. And that's what my job is to interpret for you. So it's almost, people say science isn't, astrology isn't science or mathematical, but it is like
It is.
you're doing like archetypal equations, basically. Um,
Yes.
so we won't like in a full read, I'd go, okay, and we can see that, in opposition to what have you got? Your Jupiter Scorpio, we've got your Venus. Like I'd look at those oppositions more in a deeper read, but
Mhm.
just so people who are watching as well are aware, these are the aspects, but we won't look at those today. So, do you have any logistical questions about the chart before I dive in?
No, I
Okay.
think you've covered it.
Okay, great. And interrupt me anytime, Paige. As I said, it's different to the psychic where it's very conversational. Astro is very me talking at you and explaining things. So we're going to start with your sun sign, otherwise known as your star sign. And your sun sign is, you think of the sun. It's who you are when you light up the space, when the sun is spotlighting on you. This is the placement that you are at your essence. It's when you're your most easily expressed. It's who you are at your core. And so you would know this, you're an Aries sun. So let's talk about the Aries archetype, and then I'm going to talk about what it means when it falls in the 10th house, which is where your sun falls. Now, what I will say about you, Paige, is you've got a lot of Aries energy. You've got your sun, your Mercury, your Mars, and your MC all in Aries and all in the ninth and 10th house. So you an Aries queen. She's an Aries queen.
Love that.
Love it.
Sounds hectic.
What we're going to do is, it is a bit hectic, but in the best ways. We're going to look at, and this is what I do in all chart readings, every sign, every planet has its best usage and best expression and its shadow expression. So any kind of shadow I'm picking up on, know that it's not a personal shadow. This is the archetype when it's imbalanced, and this is the archetype when it's balanced. So because you have so much Aries, there'll be a lot of strong Aries energy across your entire chart, and that will be the harmonious and disharmonious aspects of that sign. So let's break down Aries as an archetype. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So Aries kicks off the astrological year. That makes Aries the leader. Yeah. Aries is not afraid to go first and figure it out as they go. They march to the beat of their own drum. And what I love about Aries is they couldn't give an F. Or we can say fuck because it's Aries. They couldn't give a fuck
Yeah,
what
you can.
anyone else around them is doing. They don't care. Their Aries is the embodiment, when they're well expressed, of staying in their own lane and marching to the beat of their own drum. They genuinely are not usually phased by comparisonitis or what other people are doing. They're like, no, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do it this way. And in its detriment, it can come across as almost like, I will do whatever it takes to get ahead, even at the cost to other people. So there is this unashamed quality to Aries when it's really used well, utilized well. Aries is the leader. They march to the beat of their own drum. They will call the shots, and they're unafraid to go first and get it wrong and fuck up as they go, but figure it out. When it's in its lower expression, it's I will cut down anyone who gets in my way. And I don't care. If you think of the opposite signs, and I love working with oppositions because the medicine for each sign lives in the opposition. And you think of
Mhm.
the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. And so Librans are notoriously the people pleaser and puts everyone else before themselves. Oh no, Aries is not that. Aries is when it's really in its best expression, it knows what it wants, it knows what it needs, it knows what it desires, and it goes and gets it. Because Aries is a fire sign. So there's a lot of life force in your chart, Paige. It's like fire, and the other fire signs are Leo and Sag, but for Aries, it's the first fire sign. So it is like trailblazer energy. It's got a lot of life force, and this life force can be like literal physical energy in the body. And obviously you're a dancer, like just in case people don't know. And obviously like, no, hairdresser. And like, I was like, hang on, dancer. But obviously, do you dance though? Do you perform? Because this is giving performer.
No, I
You?
do yoga.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You do yoga. That's right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
went to my first dance class the other week, sucked at it, but it was so much fun.
okay. That's so funny that dancer came out of my mouth. Obviously, friends with Tash and she's a dancer and she's
Yeah.
obviously in the field. But dancing actually feels very, very good for this chart, I will say. Keep going even if you suck.
Okay, sure.
But
Thank you.
physical activity is so important for strong Aries placements because that's where your life force really moves and comes alive. I say, especially for people with Aries moons, but I would say for you too, Paige, with an Aries Mars, like combat, boxing, like force, like yoga is lovely, but this Aries energy, it wants to like hit things and break things. And when like putting it in a really constructive usage is
Yeah.
it's actually more of your life force coming online. But this kind of heavy Aries energy is also sexual life force and libido. Very healthy libido, very healthy like relationship with sexuality and sex. And so it's also finding good outlets for that rather than it being like this destructive pattern. So because Aries is fire and any fire sign, we don't want it to explode, right? So it's finding great outlets to channel this fiery life force energy through. Now, what I
Mhm.
love about all of your Aries, and we're starting with your sun, right, is it's in the 10th house, and the 10th house is traditionally ruled by Capricorn. So I would describe you as a Capricorn flavored Aries. So you've got this real, yeah, I love the shock face when people are like, what's my flavor to my sun? Do you resonate with Capricorn at all from what you know about it?
Yeah. I mean, well, Tash is Capricorn,
Yeah,
right?
she is. And I see Capricorn in you because you're a business owner, right? Like it's what you do. You work for yourself. You
Yeah.
have your own hairdressing work. You've studied a lot to do your own energetic work as well. Yoga, Reiki, all of these things. The 10th house is again the leader. So you have leader written all over your page. Like the 10th house is business and work and what we're here to do in the world. It's money and being driven. And so you're having a 10th house sun is you're incredibly driven, you're incredibly hardworking. It's the mountain goat, right? They stop at nothing to reach the mountain and then they reach their peak and they go, okay, where next? So you're someone who's constantly moving the goalposts on yourself and pushing yourself. This is someone who is the high achiever, type A, hard worker. But I love this pairing of 10th house Aries because it's just you're never meant to work for anyone but yourself. You
Mm.
you are here to do it your way and to figure it out as you go. There is not a lazy bone in your body. You are very, very proactive when it comes to taking actions on the dreams you want to create in your life. And something that would be such an ally for you in your life is, Aries is our wants, our needs, our desires. So if you always had a reference point of what you're working toward in terms of literally writing in a journal or having it on a vision board, like wants, needs, desires, and then actioning toward them as a leader, as the leader you are, there's nothing you couldn't achieve. And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not like this is an energy that is go getter to the nth degree. Have you
Mhm.
found that in your life? Like, are you someone who just makes life happen for you?
Yes, I definitely do. But I would say that I don't do things in like a structured sort of way. I can be a
Yeah.
little bit of a wrecking ball. I just like fly by the seat of my pants. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So I think having a little written down focus to sort
Yes.
of channel the fire.
That's exactly what it is. It's channeling the
Yeah.
fire rather than spreading like wildfire because this energy wants places to go. And this is why when I was talking about like physical activity, like martial arts or whatever, combat sport, boxing, it channels that wildfire energy so it's more intentional. And so
Mhm.
that what it will actually do is create more space for you to breathe amongst all the flames, right?
Mhm.
So let's look at the other elements of Aries in your chart. You've got your MC, and we all have the MC, and the MC is at the top here. The
Mhm.
MC is at 19 degrees. It's your midheaven. It's who you are when you're out in the world, and it's the work you're here to do in the world. And I actually have an Aries MC as well. So I relate to this one. We are here to do it our way and figure it out. We're not meant to And I love when we get to your Mercury because podcast is coming for you, girl. It's coming whether you like it or not.
Oh my gosh.
But
I remember you said this
in the
last
reading, I
time.
know it's all coming back to me, and I'm like, oh, I can see how it's matching up with your chart. So your MC as an Aries MC, it's the leader. I'll figure it out as I go. And that little bit of flying by the seat of your pants, Aries does do that. In tarot, Aries is represented by the Fool deck, right? And the Fool is like marching off into the great unknown and not
Of
looking
course
back.
we are.
Just figure it out. I'll just figure it out. You know what? It's a great place to have an MC because this is the energy of you're not going to get a like decision paralysis. You're just going to decide on 80,000 things and see what sticks and see what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So use it to your advantage. This is an energy that, yeah, if you're trying a few things and that's what works for you, but just being a little more intentional with your focus. And there's just, you would be most inspired, I would assume, in your life by what you're creating, like what work you're putting out in the world, however that looks, whatever form that takes, and also making money. It's like, how can I make this fulfill the life that I desire as well? Again, it's another placement. It is very much like you need to work for yourself, not other people, which obviously you do. So, and you have since you were how old?
A long time. I was 22 when I started working for myself.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just, even when I know in our reading, we were looking at different avenues you could take, but it was always you working for you. It was never you working for others. So that's very much your destiny point. Now, what's interesting about this is see this alien looking dude up here? That is Mercury. Mercury governs communication, expression, technology, and you have Mercury also in Aries, but this time in the ninth house. But what's cool is it's in what's known as a conjunction. So it's within 10 degrees of your MC. So when I see anyone with Mercury hanging around the MC, I go, speaker, speaker, speaker. They need to be speaking as their work. Like you are a communicator at heart, paired with your Gemini rising, which we will get to. Girl loves a chat, but not just that. You're very good at speaking. You're a very clear communicator. I would say in Aries, Mercury, very direct. You know what you want. You know it as a leader how to get it from your teams or people who are working for you. But I would also say that, I mean, you could probably come across as abrupt at times when your energy, yeah,
All the time.
like
With love.
disagreeable, but with love. You're wrong, but with love, you know? But with it on the MC, it's just a reminder for you that your voice wants to be heard publicly. Like that is speaker, as I said, podcasting, that is writing and having your written words expressed. I would say more spoken word, given that it's Aries, it wants to move through you. And it's I know that like with hairdressing, you're obviously having conversations with people, right? Every day. But this is more around with that Aries energy and your sun there too. Like conversations around what inspires you, what you, and I know we spoke about this
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
reading. It's like you're here to have these conversations about your life, what you've been through, and like going first and just, it doesn't need to be this perfect polished thing, figuring it out as you go. But your voice is part of your work in the world, which is very cool. And then in the ninth house, let's talk about that because that's a bit different. So where the 10th house is Capricorn and that's your MC and your sun, we've got the ninth house is Sagittarius.
Okay.
This is where it gets really cool because we're layering this ninth house energy onto the way that your voice wants to be heard, right? Now, the ninth house is philosophy, different worldviews, different schools of thought. It is astrology. It is connection with spirit. In its detriment, the ninth house can be quite dogmatic. Like this is the one way or the one modality, and there's no other ways, and I'm right and you're wrong. Whereas when it's harmonized, it very much looks at all sides, and you've got your Gemini moon and Gemini rising, so it very much would harmonize this placement. But it's almost this element of the conversations that you want to move into are worldview based. They are, why is that person the way they are? And, what schools of thought led them to believe the things they believe? This is an energy where you would love spiritual conversations with people, deeply soulful conversations with people. You've had a psychic reading and an astrology reading with me from the podcast Soul Talk. That is ninth house Mercury. Like it's just textbook, all this stuff. Tell me, Paige, like, has it ever been a little seed of idea in you to have a platform where your voice is heard in these sorts of topics?
Well, it was interesting when you first said it. I fully cringed. Like,
Yeah.
oh God, no, no
Yeah.
one wants to hear me. No one wants to see me. But I really resonate with when you're sort of saying, when I'm chatting at work, the times that I'm lit up is when it's a really deep chat and we are connecting. When I
Yeah.
have to do the surface level chit chat, I fucking hate my job. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, get me out of here. Oh, sorry.
No, you can
I
swear.
effing hate my job.
No, 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 you can swear, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but I do think I've had some really interesting experiences in my 32 years of living. And I'm like, when I share at work, I do find they always help someone.
Here you go.
So I guess in that way, I do have that little thought that, like, I could, I could support people.
Yeah.
And I've thought about being a counselor, but I couldn't think of anything worse than listening to mundane.
No, you need to do the talking. You're not here to do the listening, babe. You're here to do the
No.
talking. This is what it is. Like I can see
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
in like, and we have spoken about this, like facilitating circles for women and
Mm.
actually sharing your story as part of that journey of
Mhm.
healing for them. But it's just anywhere that your voice is heard is where your voice wants to be. Like you've got to that it's a placement of taking up space with your words, taking up space
Mhm.
with your stories. And this doesn't mean you have to go out and start a podcast next week, but it's just something to even I know we've been talking about like in your reading. It's so funny. I forget readings and then I'm back in the person's energy and they all come back. But we
Yeah.
were talking about your online platform and how it needs to be you. Wasn't that part of it? I'm like, people need to hear
Yeah.
you. That's what
Yeah.
this is, gal. That's what
Which
this
you
is.
were so on, because every Insta story we've done that's me since then, we get all of this love and all of this engagement. Then you
Great.
post a product and people are like, eh, whatever.
They don't want it. They want you. They want you. You are the face. You are the voice. Keep reminding yourself of that when it comes to any work you're putting out in the world. You are the face. You are the voice. You are the face. You are the voice. I love it because then you've also got Mars. So, girlfriend, I mean, geez, Louise. Mars is also in Aries in the ninth
Oh
house.
God,
You've
God
got
help.
so much of this energy. It's so cool though, because it's go-getter energy. And Mars loves to be in Aries because Aries rules Mars. So they're buddies here. They like it here. Mars is the planet that rules forward momentum, action. So you are just naturally someone very driven, action-oriented, determined. And this is where, again, it's good to have physical outlets to move that energy through you because it could become quite destructive if it didn't have a place to go. It could feel like, that feeling where you're almost overstimulating, your cells are buzzing, and it's like, oh my God, I feel like funny. That energy when you haven't been moving it through. It wants consistent physical movement. The Aries that I see who are so in harmony with their relationship to the warrior like quality, because Aries is the warrior as well, is like they are at the gym lifting weights. They are like they're boxing. So
Yeah.
these outlets for your, especially with your Mars there too, you're very strong. You're probably just naturally physically strong, and it hasn't even been a thing for you, right?
Yeah. I'm naturally strong, but I also do Muay Thai, which is like Thai kickboxing.
Oh my God. You've told me this. I forgot all of that. You
I
didn't.
don't know that I did
Maybe
actually. I
you
don't know that I
didn't.
did. So no,
Okay,
no.
well, it checks out.
But everything you're saying, if I'm not moving, I'm a nightmare.
That
You don't
that's
want to be around.
that's when Aries do not move, they are
Yeah.
nightmares. I love you, Aries, but it's bang
It's
on.
true. It's so true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is just something to take with you forever, but also because it's in that ninth house and it's conjunct your Mercury and that's near emceeing, your sun's there too.
Hmm.
Constantly working and creating is also something that really fuels you. You're not someone who procrastinates, you get shit done. You like, I would love, I mean, you'll never work for anyone, but if you were working for me, I would love you because you wouldn't be sitting on your hands. Like you would just be, it's someone who takes initiative and very, very empowered placements. Yeah. Very strong, empowered placements. Let me just feel into anything more with Mars. Mars in Aries in the ninth. Again, let's just circle back to the core of Aries being your wants, your needs, your desires. If you are constantly revisiting those, like use that Mars energy to revisit those, hash them out, get clear on almost like I do like a quarterly or a 6 monthly breakdown and go, what have I acted on and what haven't I? And where am I directing my focus for the next 6 months? And what are the action steps that I'm going to pull out to take? Mars is action, Aries is action. There's not that you're unstoppable. There's nothing you would not be able to achieve. Yeah.
Oh.
Obsessed with all of this for you, girl. Let's move into a different archetype. So we'll move over to this one here. This is Venus. So we just spoke about Mars, and Venus is the feminine counterpart of Mars. So Mars is, and this isn't gendered, this is energetic. So Mars is masculine force, will, drive, penetration, determination. Venus is sensuality, femininity, softness, beauty. And I love this for you too, because you got Venus in one of her ruling signs, Taurus. So Venus loves being here. So you have a Taurus Venus in the 11th house. So a few things on this. Let's look at Taurus in Venus, Venus in Taurus. Very harmonious. When it comes to love, romance, beauty, they matter to you. You're a romantic at heart. So when it comes to romantic love, it's like, it's not like you're not here to fuck around. Like this is, you want to be swept off your feet and you want to fall in love and you want to have that beautiful soulmate relationship. And dare I say, with the 11th house here, you're likely going to be in partnership or have been in partnership with friends who become lovers. Like it's like that friendship quality actually is really important. It's not enough to like to just be romantic. There's that community, like you're my person aspect to the desire as well. Taurus Venus, you are, because Venus also rules money and what we value. So I would say you value beautiful things, like, and I'm talking beautiful physical things, like beautiful clothing. And I mean, I just said your dress is stunning. Beautiful jewelry, you've got beautiful art around you. You know, it's very, when I say Venusian, I mean of Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure. There's a softness to this relationship to beauty and using beauty as a harmonizer, like valuing beauty and not wronging yourself for that, not wronging yourself for having expensive taste. That's another thing. Taurus rules money and materialism and good food, good wine. Like you want to be wined and dined. When someone's taking you on a date, let's go eat some delicious food together, or cook for me, or I'll cook for you. You know, like there's this real desire. It's a very it's not, passion is the wrong word. It's, and not even primal, but it's starting with P, like pleasure. That's what it is. It's about pleasure and of the senses. So Taurus is very sensual. What we taste, what we touch, what we see, what we feel. And so when it comes to the things that you value, even in friendship, like you've got your soul friends. That's what this placement tells me. Like you, it's like people meet you at that deep soul level, or they're not your people. Like they've got to meet you in the depths of like, you love your friends, like your friends, like you, and you value friendship really highly. That's the 11th house, is community. So any community where you feel that mutual adoration and love and like just deep appreciation is really harmonious for you. You will not do surface connection. Like it's just, that ain't it. Or like, this is not a placement that would entertain gossip or talking about other. You are not that person. And you would just completely cut them. Like it's like there's such a beautiful element to you as a friend. I would say that you really show up for your people as well. And they know that they can rely on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little bit about money here as well. I would say that you're quite generous with money when it comes to charitable donations and causes that matter to you. Like the 11th house is the causes and things that matter. Venus is our money. Taurus is, yes, it's for us. Taurus, when we're in the developmental stages psychologically, is when we're learning what's ours. So this is mine. And then when Taurus evolves over time, it's like, oh, and I can give as well. And so I would say that, yeah, that charitable donation part of your work would really light you up. It would, and you're not doing it for anyone to see it. It's just, it makes you feel good. There also is a piece on worth here, self-worth. Taurus is all about feeling enough. And I would say in Venus here, in romantic relationships in the past, it could potentially have pressed on wounds around enoughness. And do I feel enough in this dynamic? You know, what do I need to do to feel enough to receive love? But also maybe even potentially calling in relationships where you do feel that enoughness, and or you're calling, I'm better than this, and it's a no from me, you know? So there is this dynamic that I would say would come up in your romantic encounters where you're being called to honor your self-worth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Any questions on that placement? Oh, I could go for hours on Taurus in Venus in Taurus. It's so nice. It's such a beautiful placement. Earthy, very earthy. So I would say like being in nature, being outdoors, barefoot on the grass, hands on the trees. You could even go on a glamping. I was going to say camping, potentially even camping, but like,
I like camping.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
it's giving camping under the stars, but like going on dates where you're like in the van and you're cross
Yeah.
country and like
Yeah.
that's
That's
for
probably
you.
more my date vibe than a fancy
Then a
restaurant, I
fancy
think.
dinner.
But I really value high quality, like things that are made well and come from, small businesses. And like I spend money on things, but never like a designer
This makes
product.
sense. No,
Yes.
100%. It's like
Yes.
you would value like the homemade focaccia
Yeah. Yeah.
over the going
Yeah.
to the Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
That 100%. That's exactly. It's the quality and the intention behind it.
Mm, yeah.
Beautiful, stunning. Let's move to your moon because your moon and your ascendant are both in the same sign. So let's talk the difference between the two. Our ascendant is the mask we wear, and it's not even a mask we consciously put on. It's just how we present when people are meeting us for the first time. So it's before they get to know what's beneath the surface or get to understand who we are. It's just how we walk in a room, we scan the room, and we are this version of us.
Mm.
And it's the version that actually comes quite easily to us, our ascendant. It's just well, as I said, a lot of people can say it's the mask you put on, but no one's intentionally doing it. It just comes so naturally. And so for you, it's Gemini. You're like me, Gemini rising. So,
Ah,
first things about that is like we present as conversational, chatty, witty, funny, bubbly. Gemini is so misunderstood as a sign. I love everything about Gemini. They're misunderstood as, oh, the evil twin because they're represented by twin archetypes, but it's not that. Gemini is multifaceted. Gemini loves, and I love, because your prime example of Gemini ascendant, you do Muay Thai, you are a hairdresser, you also do yoga, and you are a Reiki practitioner as well, right?
yeah.
Like talk about multifaceted, right? So that's what this is. Gemini just loves a lot of different things, and they want to know about people. This is why they make great podcast hosts. Again, I just keep planting that seed for you. This is
You
why they make
really
great
do.
podcast hosts. This is because they want to know about people. You want to sit next to a Gemini heavy chart at a dinner party when you don't know anyone, because they'll just ask you questions. Like journalism would come naturally to you. Like you're just natural at conversation. And you wouldn't let anything become awkward in a conversation. You just have a fact that you could put into the convo, or like you'd be great at trivia.
Very true.
This is like someone who needs to know everything about everything. I always say a shadow expression of any kind of Gemini, especially with a Gemini moon, and we'll get to that, is you're watching a movie and you go, I've seen them in something, and you pull out your phone and you go, what was his birthday? And then you go, oh, he's a this sign. And then you've missed part of the movie and you're like, shit, I know what the zodiac sign of the actor is, but now I've missed 5 minutes of the movie. It's the multiple tabs at once.
Mm.
But the shadow expression of Gemini is they sometimes don't know who they are because they walk into the room, they read the room, they go, this is the mask I'll wear in this environment because this is what people need right now. They're very much thinking of other, and they see all sides of the story all the time. And it can become a fault when it's like, well, what do I believe and who actually am I in this environment when I'm not playing to the room? So a Gemini rising definitely learned to do that young, and it's always connected. Our ascendant is always connected to our IC. So you've got your Libra IC there, and the IC is who we innately were when we were young, and then our ascendant is who we had to become when we were young, and it's kind of why it becomes so naturally to us. So for you, it's some way when you were younger, you learned either through observation or being taught that you need to play a role when you're meeting new people, or you need to read the room and gauge what the safest version of you to bring forward is in each environment. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's not necessarily a deconditioning that needs to happen, more so than an awareness of, okay, when I show up and it's a party or it's a social event, I'm going to put the mask down and I'm actually going to just be the Aries 10th house sun that I am. And I don't need to fill all the awkward silences or spit out a random fact. It's like, it's just training ourselves to not be so reliant on the ascendant. Um, but the moon is there too. And I love the moon sign. The moon sign is our inner world. So the sun is who we are when the spotlight of life is on us. The moon is how we process internally. This is the part that most people in our lives don't see because it's our emotional world, and it's also our relationship to intuition. So we'll look at both of those things. Gemini moon in the 12th house. What I will say is any 12th house moon, I instantly go ding, 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 psychic, ding, ding, ding. So she's a psychic. You're naturally a very intuitive person. I would say that you would receive a lot of intel in your dreams, that 12th house moon there. Do you have symbolic dreams, vivid dreams?
Often. I've started keeping a dream
I was
journal.
gonna say get a dream journal. This is perfect because Gemini is communication, expression, writing. That's the other
Mm,
thing. Gemini is the communicator. So a dream journal for this placement is textbook great. There would
mm,
be so much psychic intel you would just be receiving without even trying. This is a very natural placement. And what I will say is see the blue line. I said I wouldn't talk aspects, but I can't help it. That's moving from your moon to your sun. That's called a
yes.
sextile. That's an aspect that's really harmonious. The moon and the sun, your moon and sun love each other. So it's like this element comes so naturally to you that you probably don't even realize it's a gift in terms of your psychic nature, but it's
Mm,
something that really wants to be expressed through your sun. So this it kind of further informs the work you're here to do in the world has this psychic and spiritual component to it, especially the 12th house sun, 12th house moon, which is so deeply energetic. Like this is the empath, this is energetic sensitivity. I know we did speak about this in your reading, did we? Like the things you could do to protect your energy. Did we speak about that?
yes, we talked about like the shower every day in the evening, like
Yes, it's all
letting
of
go.
that. Yes.
Yes.
It's the
Mhm,
boundaries of like what energy is yours to keep and what energy is yours to release because your
mhm,
emotional state would be deeply impacted without even realizing what you're picking up on through your days, especially if you lean more into doing energetically sensitive work in the world. But the Gemini aspect of your moon, a lot of your intel would come through claircognizance. So you'd have thoughts and you'd just know things will happen. And it's
mhm.
like, I don't know how I know, I just know. Is that what you're
Yes, I
saying?
do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Gemini
Yeah.
is of the mind, it's an air sign.
Yeah.
So any practices that slow the mind down so that you can hear the whispers rather than the noise would be profound for a Gemini moon placement and a 12th house Gemini moon placement. So ceremony is perfect, right?
Mhm,
Because you're dropping in, you're drinking, you're listening. Any kind of journaling, dream journaling, yes, but journaling in general for the emotional state, because it's a Gemini moon. It's yes, it's deeply intuitive, like just a given, but also when it's inharmonious can lend itself to overthinking, overwhelm, and anxiety tendencies. Now, because you're being so physical with all your Aries, I would say that that would more come into play if you weren't being physically active. If you didn't have these outlets, a ruminating and racing mind could be one of the first kind of signs. So,
mhm.
consistent journaling to check in with what's going on in your inner world would be really, really helpful. This
Right.
is a placement that would love, love, love any form of meditative practice. And I feel, did you say that yin yoga was one of the, yeah,
Yin yoga's my favorite.
this is yin yoga all over. This is just like you, I would love to receive yin from you because you would just know what the women in your group need. You would just be like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those
you,
hands-on assists, the supporting the
oh,
my favorite.
they would just melt because you're channeling without even realizing through the movement, through the
Mm,
practice.
mhm,
And yeah, it's very cool. This is constant study would be really nice for you. Like you're someone who really wants to learn all the time. The
yeah.
Gemini mind is gets bored easily, right? So this is something there, especially when it comes to spiritual modalities, that 12th house energy, like
Mhm,
deepening your yoga skills or deepening your energy work or whatever spiritual practices you want to deepen and study, it would actually feel quite emotionally regulating for you. Like it would feel like safety in your system when you're I don't even want to say learning more than remembering these parts of yourself, you know?
mhm. Beautiful.
How are you feeling? I just want to do a check-in and then I do want to do like two more. I know we're going over time, but it's fine. I can't help myself with astrology. I can't help myself.
So fascinating. And
Yeah.
it's just like you just go so deep into
Yeah.
who we are. And I didn't realize, this in the center, like the flavor, that's the
Yes.
flavor.
Yes. Isn't that
Didn't know
cool?
this.
It's like
Yeah.
it adds a whole new layer. It's like a
Yes.
whole other layer of your
Hmm.
chart. So that's it.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, I could read for you as a Gemini moon, but then I'm missing the whole psychic aspect of who you are. That's the 12th
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
the dreams. Like
Yeah.
this is what's so cool. And I will say, just plug to Jules Ferrari, who's my teacher, and
Yeah.
she does
She's a
astrology school. She's a gun. She's the best. Don't learn from anyone else. Learn from Jules. She's who I learned from. And she teaches in this way that's just so You just break it down. It's just like
Ah,
this plus this equals this. So
I'd love to do her astrology school. I
I
think that
was
would
going
be
to say
great.
for you, Paige, I think it would be amazing for that Gemini moon. And she is a Gemini sun. So you've got that harmonious aspect, like,
Yes. Can
yeah.
I say though, I think we should all have our charts read. I think everyone
Thank
should book a
you.
reading with
I
me.
love
I
you.
think it's really important because I mean, if we understand ourselves, we're going to show up better in the world, aren't we?
Thank you. And this is what I found with my own chart as well. Look at you being the conversationalist, like podcast. You're like, can I just take the mic a second
I
and like
think that we
go for it,
should.
Paige? But for me, now that I understand my chart even more, it's like there was a year there where I went all in on my moon and I just focused on harmonizing my moon. And like now I'm about to go through my nodal return. So I'm really focusing on that I have an Aquarius North Node and that aspect. Like once you understand the generals, you can get so granular, it's phenomenal. And then don't even get me started on parents and having their children's charts read. Like it
Yeah.
changes your entire relationship to your child because you
Mm.
understand them more. But on
Yeah.
that, I would love to end the read with your destiny points because this is the part of the chart that I was taught. If you only left someone with one aspect, let it be their nodes because we were born with our aspects known as our North Node and our South Node. The North Node is who you've come to be this lifetime. The South Node is, who you've been in other lifetimes or what kind of shadow aspects you're letting go of. And the North Node is, no, I'm here to embody more of this part of myself. And so when we can really lean into that part, it's like that's when the game changes. And we all go through our nodal return when we're around 36, 37. So I'm about to start mine in about a month. So you're still a few years off your nodal return. I know you just came out of your Saturn return Paige maybe like 18 months ago or a year
Mm.
ago. But this is your North Node, the little horseshoe dude down here. Now, if you pull up your chart on astro.com, it doesn't show you South Node, but South Node is just the equal and opposite sign. So your North Node is in Scorpio in the fifth, which would
Mm.
mean that your South Node is in Taurus, the opposite of Scorpio, in the 10th. So I'm going to explain what that is. So North Node in Scorpio. Oh my God, girlfriend, you are here to be the healer. Scorpio is the healer. Scorpio is the alchemist. They are the phoenix rising. I love Scorpio because people are like, oh my God, they're so scary. They're so intense. They're not afraid of the dark. That's what it is. Scorpios are unafraid. They unapologetically walk into the fire and go, okay, let's like blow shit up and see what's on the other side. Now, that can be quite dangerous with a lot of Aries in your chart as well. So we don't want to be blowing shit up, but this is an invitation for you to embody the more taboo aspects of your life and the curiosities you have with those taboo aspects. And when I say taboo, it can be your mainstream taboo topics like, anything the occult, witchcraft, paganism. This right now would be considered taboo. But
Mhm.
it can also look at things like relationship with body and body image. It could look like relationship with money and finances. Like Scorpio topics are topics that you wouldn't traditionally bring up at a dinner party. Religion, money, government, health, alternative health. And so with your North Node here, it's like don't shy away from this part of you, this part of you
Mm.
that could be considered shadowy or dark. It's like what's the glitter that lives in the shadows? And the reason I say glitter is you've got the fifth house. The fifth house is Leo, gal. So when I was like, you've got to be performing, I didn't even clock it. Fifth house, get the girl on stages. But no, it's more like, I mean, very creative. You are very
Mm.
creative. You would not feel yourself if you were not creating. Scorpio is creative and the fifth house is creative. This
Mhm.
is also the energy of the fifth house is motherhood. So this is the energy of, future children. And I would say as a North Node in the fifth house, you're born to be a mother. So there is a level of, yeah, that maternal nature that is just so innate in you. And
Yeah.
your destiny is to embody that and be that. And that's not without hardship because you got Pluto here too, but you're not afraid of the hard stuff because you know that you become more of who you are on the other side of it. But the fifth house also wants you to dance and play and find joy through the hard stuff. And this is
Mm.
like something that you probably do really naturally, but it's like the hard stuff is enough to just take you down. You get to dance and move and play through it as well.
Mhm.
So the opposite side of that is notice when you get stuck in that Taurus energy which and stubborn like energy is it's a fixed sign. So Scorpio loves change. Taurus is like, I am set in my ways and it's this way or no way. And so catch yourself in the moments where you feel you're a little bit more rigid, especially at work. It's in the 10th house, especially in
Mhm.
business or money. When you're hoarding money and you're just like, oh no, like I don't want to change things up because it feels too much, and lean more into the, okay, how can I be the alchemist here? Where am
Mhm.
I going to be the phoenix rising? Where is it safe for me to change? I would say the South Node in Taurus and this could be in younger versions of life. Anyone with a South Node in Taurus or Chiron in Taurus or even a Moon in Taurus, and this is more general for people listening, could have some sort of emotional eating issue or some
Mhm.
sort of, yeah, like it's reliance on food, or spending money as a mode of regulation. So catching self in those patterns and going, okay, no, I need to go play and have fun. I need to be in light again rather than that as an outlet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gal, I could talk to you forever. I know we've gone way over time. Thank you. How are you feeling?
So good. That was so
Yeah.
fascinating, Holly. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
glad. Good.
really interesting. Yeah, I'm
Good.
gonna need another reading. I'm
This
gonna
is
go.
this is the tip of the iceberg, and I will just say, like, listen back to this obviously and make notes of the parts that jump out to you and then rabbit hole those placements, like especially with your Gemini. Read up, learn more, rabbit, what does this mean, what does this mean, and why?
Mhm.
And then do Jules's astrology school. That would be your next step, I reckon.
Right.
Thank
Okay.
you, Paige. It was so good to
Thank
have you today,
you.
gal. I'm going to press stop on the recording.